We take pride in satisfying every customer's financial needs.
Introducing the future of hassle-free and seamless financial transaction. The Una Wallet app, empowering you to effortlessly manage your money anytime, anywhere. With the Una Wallet app, you can now enjoy branchless banking, wallet-to-wallet transfer, wallet-to-cash, and bank cross-border payments. Deposit at a bank and withdraw from any Una branch. Get ready to experience the ultimate banking convenience with the Una Wallet app. With just few taps on your phone, you can effortlessly add funds, withdraw, and send money to your loved ones. The Una Wallet app also provides a detailed history of your transaction, making it easier to track your expenses. So, what are you waiting for? Download the Una Wallet app today on Play Store or App Store and say goodbye to hassle of traditional banking. Uno Forex Bureau Limited, delivering much more than money.
Hello and welcome to another edition of our show. It's another Thursday and we're back in the studio. And today we're going to look at the State of the Nation address by His Excellency, the President of the Republic. And he was at the National Assembly every year. It's the constitutional mandate for the President to address the nation through the National Assembly. And to discuss all of this, we have members of the National Assembly member, Majority Leader Honorable Billay G. Tunkura. Welcome to my show for the first time. For the first time, can you believe this?
Not the first time, I was there before.
My show.
Oh, okay, yours.
My show for the first time, right?
That's right. For the first
Welcome
time.
to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, and of course, Honorable Madi, Deputy Minority Leader Madi, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Fatou, for having us.
And today we will look at the State of the Nation. But first, you know, what we do in the show is what is trending. And obviously, Madi, your party is trending, the United Democrat, and Billay is just laughing already, right? What is trending, and that has been trending for the past 3 days, is the tension that has been happening between, members of the United Democratic Party, especially from what we saw was the leader, the mayor of Banjul had an interview, and where she alleged that there were camps in your party, the Talib and the Lawyer Dabo camp, and obviously the chairman of Brikama Area. So that brought a lot of conversation on social media. The chairman of Brikama Area Council made a comment on Facebook. A lot of people saw that comment as something that was not right, including myself. And obviously he gave an interview. I think that interview became even more revealing. The chairman became very candid. He spoke about so many things, including his relationship with the mayor of KM, Talib and Suda. He also spoke about the state of, he said, if Talib is chosen as your candidate, he will not support him. He said a lot of things, your brother stabbing you at the back. There was so much that was said on that interview. And Talib at one point did a post on his Facebook to say the end is near, something like that, but it was deleted right there. But we haven't had any reaction from Talib since then. But yesterday, the party leader came out and called for calm among the party members. But the interesting thing, and the news out of all of this, is that he is going to throw his hat. He's going to seek for the party's nomination for 2026. What is your reaction to all of this? A lot of people said 2026, NPP has won already. What is your reaction to, first, what is happening in your party?
That's the beauty of democracy within the party. What is happening in UDP is nothing strange. We had had this kind of things many a time, and we always come to a conclusion.
To this level?
Oh yes, several times. We had had tensions where we have more than 11, 12 people canvassing for one position, and they all have their camps, and they campaign. So it's not strange with us. But at the end, we're able to, because we have a process in place, a system in place that can take care of everything when it gets to that point. Because ultimately, one person must be chosen as the candidate. And we've done that several times. We've done it in KMC, we've done it in, Brikama, West Coast. So it's the beauty of democracy within the party.
But when people say, how democratic is the United Democratic Party? Number one, when people say, Lawyer Dabo is my candidate, that is not a problem. People accept that naturally. But when people say Yankuba is my candidate, Talib is my candidate, Rohilo is my candidate, or Lamisana is my candidate, that becomes a problem. No. Malafika, manyana, flag biara fula, manyana fula. But near Lawyer Dabo Tafo, it's okay. That is not democracy.
That's democracy.
No, that's not democracy.
The people who support Dabo, and when they say Dabo, they applaud it.
But you guys say
that's democracy.
Okay.
If others say Yankuba or somebody else, or even
they
me,
don't applaud it.
Or even me,
even you, they don't applaud that.
It is their democracy to accept or reject it, and that's what is happening.
No, but the way they reject it, for example, if
you cannot measure my level of reaction.
Okay.
The party is a very big party that was here since 1996. We have a lot of people, so you cannot measure their reactions. But what is important is ultimately, in the end, we always settle for one. That's what is important. It's the beauty of democracy.
Is Dabo going to be a candidate for 2026?
Well, he said it already. He's going to throw his hat in it.
Are you guys going to select him to be the candidate?
What do you mean, are you guys?
One
person cannot elect him, cannot nominate him. The process is there.
Yeah.
If he throws there, the process will take its effect.
But
if the results is him, then it will
But the
be
thing
him.
is, we all know, and I said that to Dabo here the other day. I had him on the show.
And what is wrong if Dabo is the candidate?
No, I'm asking. Look, let me make this clear. Dabo has all the constitutional right to contest. Just like I have, if I'm a member of the UDP, just like you have and any other person. But what I'm saying is, we all know if Dabo Kontebe Lolale, we all know nobody is also going to throw their ring there.
And then it has unanimous support.
Because they are all scared. They are going to be scared.
No.
Yes, they are scared.
Nobody is scared of Dabo. But if he says he wants it and you said nobody is going to contest, well, that's unanimous agreement.
Can somebody
who is going?
Can somebody come out of the blue and contest too?
Anybody can say I want it, and the process will take its course, and then a candidate will be chosen.
But Madi, do you think people are saying, especially you guys, UDP, and including me, that I hold NPP 4 is Barrow startup. I've always said, why should Barrow go for third term? There are capable people like Billay and others in NPP. Why should Barrow go for third term? If we say that for Barrow, we can equally say that to the UDP.
You cannot say that to you. No. You will not go there. No.
Let me finish.
No. What is the term? No. You cannot finish there. You cannot go there because Dabo has never been the president of this country.
That's true.
What term are you talking about? What term are you talking about?
Internal democracy start.
Have you read our constitution?
But democracy start internally within parties.
Constitution?
Parties should have democracy.
Equally, like the Gambia's 1997 constitution has given power to Barrow to contest for 10 times if you wish.
Yes. But we want to change that. That's what we want to change.
If our constitution is silence about how many times you can contest.
Meaning we can have Dabo contest for 10 times.
He can as much as he
as much as we can also Barrow.
If he is not defeated in the selection process, he can.
Okay, but we can also have Barrow contest for 10 times.
For 20 times,
and he can become president.
If he wins.
So meaning that campaign for third term, we should just squash it.
Exactly.
And not talk about it now.
Campaign for?
Barrow going for third term.
I have never said anything like a third term.
A lot of your people, though.
People's opinion, you cannot hold me responsible for people's opinion.
Yeah.
You can always hold me for my opinion.
Yeah.
My opinion is very clear.
Yeah.
We going by the 1997 constitution. That is your term limit.
Yeah.
If he wish so, let him go.
Okay. So Barrow can go.
If he has his consent, if his consent does not give him that to go for a third term, that's left to him.
Okay, but
just like the 3 years,
Yeah.
Jotna,
Yeah.
he betrayed us. It was not a force. The Constitution said he can. His mandate is 5 years.
Yeah.
But there was an agreement. He chose not to honor it.
Yeah.
If he choose not to honor 2 terms, he can go for many times
Many
as
times
he can.
as he wants.
So long as he wins, he becomes the president.
But what we are trying to say here, Honorable, is this: democracy should start from the parties. If you
Very well, very well.
if you are a
agree.
government, oppositions are governments in waiting. If you want us to look at democracy and say, look, if we give these people power, they are going to be a democratic. We look at how you handle internal affairs.
That's true.
That's how we look at it. If we look at how you look at things, that's how we are going to measure you, because you are not in government right now. I've told people the reason why I'm always very critical more of the government or the ruling NPP is because they're in government. But that doesn't mean we cannot hold you also accountable, because you are governments in waiting.
Of course, you
in
can.
2026 you can become government.
So
if
and
we
we are
don't
going
check,
to become a president.
if we don't check you by
we're going to
today,
rule this country 2026.
if we don't
Not
check,
about that.
if we don't check you today
We'll see.
and look at especially the way things are handled internally, if we don't check it today, then we're just giving you a blank check, and that is not happening. We should not do that. Internal democracies, if Dabo has told us all the time, he's so proud that when you look at UDP, you can look at over 10 people who can succeed him as a candidate. Why can't you guys give those people chance to run the affairs of the party, to become a flag bearer at one point? Is it not time now?
Is it the
Are they not ready?
Is it the running of...
Are they not ready?
The running of the affairs of the United Democratic Party.
I mean the flag
is the
bearer.
business of us.
Us Gambians too.
Us, whoever is the member.
No,
Because if
no,
you are
no,
not
no,
a member,
even if we
you are
are
not part of the
no.
process, you cannot be effective there.
We have a stake, and I said it,
But
and I.
will you be effective in the process?
I saw this opinion by Tukulor C, UDP members telling us outsiders that it is your business, it's not our business. No, it is our business too.
What I'm saying.
United Democratic Party, whether we are a
It's a national
card-carrying
party.
member or not, is a party
It's
of
a national
all
party.
Gambians.
Yes.
So we have a stake in what you do.
But you know where
And we will keep talking.
you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Let's say, for example,
Yeah,
we are very few of us at the National Assembly.
yeah,
We're taking care of national issues.
yeah.
So in the party also, big as it may be, there are only a certain category that takes care of the businesses.
Yeah.
You and I can only talk, but the people are there who are supposed to decide, just like us in the National Assembly.
Yeah.
You see, the best thing really to go around about all these issues, and
Yeah.
that can cut across all the parties, is for us to have a clause in our constitution
Yeah.
to say that nobody in their party should contest more than 2 times.
Yeah.
When we do that, let's forget about even term limit.
Okay.
That will solve all our problem.
Yeah.
Like if I am a member of a United Democratic Party, contest twice, win, the constitution say I cannot contest for the third time.
Third time.
If
Okay.
you put that, then we are done. You can even forget about the term limit in the constitution to say the president's term limit. Let's just limit it to the parties,
Before I go to Honorable,
except the independent.
Before
Then
I
we
go
can
to
couch a clause.
because I have to have a specific show on this one. Alman
Okay,
Canada, UDP. Alman Canada.
I am more than willing to
Next
come at
week,
any time.
Specific show on this. Be will
More
stone
than
as well.
willing to come.
But before I go, is it that you don't have young and capable people ready to contest as your flag bearer as a party?
We have more than enough, and that is
Why are you not
excuse me.
using
Excuse me. Let me clear that first.
Okay.
We have more than enough, and that is manifested in the National Assembly elections. We have had more than 15 elected members who are all capable to be presidents of this country.
Yeah.
We had 5 or 4 chairpersons and mayors who are also capable to run this country as president.
Yeah.
Beside that, also within our membership,
Yeah.
there are landed people who are more than capable to become president of this country.
Yeah.
We have more than enough.
Why are you not choosing them?
Why are we not choosing? Because it's a party. You have a process. You have a process. Why are we choosing Barrow all the time?
Yes.
When he's doing all other
Barrow
things
has
that we
been
don't
chosen
like.
only twice.
Yes, but what have he had?
Barrow has been chosen only
All
twice.
the things that he has been
To
doing.
be fair to Barrow,
the
he's been chosen only
betrayals,
twice.
the betrayals, the corruptions in the country, and all that. But he's still elected the second time.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
That's
That's the,
people's choice.
Yeah.
So you can't really control people's choice. You must leave people to
so
make
Dabo
their
is the
choice.
people's choice.
It's our party's choice.
Dabo is the people's choice.
It's our party's choice.
I mean, I cannot say more than
And
that.
he said he's going to contest. If I am in the process of really
Nominating,
voting,
you will nominate
I will nominate him.
That's case close.
I will nominate him.
Dabo is your. Dabo
But
is,
I don't have the powers.
it looks like
I don't have
Dabo.
the powers. I'm not in that group that can say vote. No, I'm not.
You're not.
I'm not. But if I had, I will vote.
You will vote, and you will campaign for him. To
Oh
be-
yes, oh
Okay.
yes. I have been campaigning for
No,
him
I
since
mean,
1996.
no, I mean you will campaign for him to be the flag bearer.
I will, of course.
It looks like Dabo is going to be your opponent.
Let him ready.
What is, how do you did you receive this news? The president had told us he wanted a rematch with his father. It looks like the rematch is going to happen.
Thank you very much, Fatou, for having me. Let me, first of all, appreciate the gesture that you extend us for us to participate in this national dialogue. I also want to appreciate your beautiful listeners who has been very instrumental to the existence of this enterprise.
Yeah.
If to take a cue from what you've asked, Honorable Deputy Minority Leader, I think I want to salute His Excellency, former Vice President and Party Leader of the United Democratic Party, for the leadership. Leadership in the sense that he brought calm
to the party.
to the party.
Yeah.
I think that is long overdue, and it really is expected of him, being a former member of the United Democratic Party and knowing the process in which we normally observe or participate, undertake to elect a flag bearer. I think it's important for the parliamentarians or even the executive committee of UDP to enlighten the people.
Yeah.
There is no Congress before presidential election. That should be clear.
That should be clear.
As far as the constitution is concerned, UDP, if my mind can serve me well, the Central Committee is pivotal. The Central Committee does primary selection. If there's no consensus there, then it goes to select some committee. Then the selection committee will now select and report back to the National Executive. So basically, people who are talking outside, I want Talib, I want this thing, they should really focus on who are those members of the Central Committee, who are the key decision makers, and who are also members of the Selection Committee.
Yeah.
However, I think to cut long story short, just a piece of advice to all these contendants, be it Talib, be it Yankuba and others, I think that they should really focus on the mandate given to them. Yeah. They have been given a 5-year mandate as mayors and chairpersons. They should look forward in terms of executing the trust and confidence. It's a rare privilege given to you to serve your country at that level. So basically, I don't think this tussle or these camps will really help the party moving forward. Because our dream is that for us to have UDP as an opposition in this country, and it's important that UDP...
Is it because you're also happy that you want Dabo to come?
It's not about I'm happy
it looks
Dabo
like
to come.
You guys want Dabo to be your opponent.
Every healthy democracy...
MPP want you Dabo as an opponent.
Every healthy democracy, you need a strong opposition.
Yeah.
And
definitely
UDP has really been manifesting that.
Yeah.
And for us to really, advance this country forward, you need to have people who are checking on you as a watchdog. And their critics really, people see it negatively, but they have been very, very positive in terms of putting us to track. Yeah. So basically, I think His Excellency, former Vice President, being a party, the party flag bearer next election, it's just a rematch between the father and the son again.
And you guys
and we are happy to have him as a...
You are ready for that?
Yes.
But you guys, you have your own tussle going on in the MPP.
I understand.
You have the NDP. You guys gave them an ultimatum. The ultimatum expired last Friday. Yes. We haven't had anything. Yes. They are campaigning. They are doing anything. They are out there. They are going away. Do you think that will also affect you? And atolela ñu di amola la ko be ma bodron but atole fa ta candidate so WhatsApp group will be doing. But you guys also have your own share of what is happening, especially it is happening in a region which is very, very, very the most populated West Coast region. Yes. That is your national president. That is a very key position. Yes. How are you handling that also? Yeah, like he said, every party has its own issues. That it depends on the approach you take to address them. And NPP as an institution, we're taking series of process and engagement for us to arrive at the final stage. I am lucky to be nominated as a part of the special committee that has put in place to engage this group of people that want to establish their own party within the party. So it's a work in progress. And what is important is a continued dialogue. We are talking to them.
And inshallah, once everything is finalized, we'll arrive at a decision. Because the party is governed by rules and regulations. We have a constitution that we must respect. So if we're doing any anti-party activities, there's a need for call for concern. We put you to order. And then if you don't refrain from that, we'll see how best we can resolve the issue. However, it's a cause for concern. Politics is about numbers. You can't win an election without having the requisite number to win.
Yeah.
Because in our context here, it's simple majority. So basically, I think it's important not to lose a single vote. Every vote counts.
Yeah.
It's not about Kerr Madi. If it's Kerr Madi, even him alone is a vote.
With his family.
With his family and where he come from. So basically, it's not a pleasant thing in their party. And we are really, really working around the clock to resolve this issue.
How is the negotiations going? Are you optimistic they'll come back? Because when I had by Tunkura here, he said there's a political demonstration.
Yes.
But what I'm seeing on the ground doesn't look like just a political demonstration.
Yeah, within the cohorts, some feel like it is like a preemptive action to really call attention of the party for them to give listen here to them, and some see it as a propaganda. And like I said, there are different schools of thoughts, but we are looking at it holistically as an institution, as a party, to really engage them and listen to them, engage them in a constructive dialogue, for us to know what is their pain, or what is the bone of contention here. It is when we get to know that, then we can give a remedial solution on how to address the issues. We are working as we speak. Even yesterday we met as a committee.
Oh, that looks good. Yeah. Until all of that is resolved, it's a rematch between the father and the son.
Of course.
It's a rematch.
Of course.
2026, a rematch.
A rematch.
Let
me tell you, I don't want to take brief for Dabo, but looking at the things, nobody can pull vote as compared to Dabo within the party right now.
Within
as
UDP.
UDP. That what the vote he can pull, I don't think nobody, with respect to all of them, but I don't think, with my little political knowledge, seeing on the way he's been in touch with the grassroots, I think he should be the party choice.
He should be the party choice. If your opponent is telling you this person should be your candidate, then you should be concerned.
But they know.
It's
an opposite concern.
I mean, we all know Dabo is the grassroots of UDP.
None of them can pull.
We all know Dabo is the guy. Why are they so excited for you guys to come though?
Well,
that's my thing.
There's no problem.
Are you not worried about that?
No. Why? Why should we be worried?
I'm not worried. What?
Why should we be worried?
Okay, let's go to our main topic. That is the State of the Nation address. The president came today, Honorable. First, let's start with you. How was it like? How was the atmosphere first? Because, some of the years when he comes, there's some noise there and they are clapping and the other side is booing. And how did it go this year? How was the atmosphere?
It was very calm this time around. In fact, it wasn't politicized.
Great.
In the past, what used to bring all those commotion is politicizing this very important occasion where the president comes to the parliament once. So this time around, there was no politicking. So basically, I wouldn't say that people who come are not from different political parties, but they are very matured people. Our audience are very matured this time around. They listened carefully. There was no clapping. There was no booing. And the president was giving the audience, and he delivered his speech. I think in less than 2 hours. He started at 10:45 and finished at 12:05.
Wow.
It was a long speech.
It was a long speech.
Because a little bit bulky. It went on well.
It went on well. So let's look at the issues that the president raised this year. What would you say you had, concerns with? What was positive, and what do you think he could have done better?
Well, one positive thing about the speech, that is the beginning, that is our international relations.
Yeah.
That was really very positive. The President has alluded that over 30 ambassadors have presented their credentials to the Gambia. And beside that, Gambia also have been accepted in very important international organizations at different positions.
Yeah.
In the UN and the AU, and then OIC. So that all tells well about us. Small as we are properly fit in the international arena. That is positive. And the other things are national, that is coming back to domestic politics and developments. He has raised certain things. I would have also expected that the president would have addressed the issue of corruption, but he has not. And the issue of patrol on the new OIC High Road is welcome. But then my observation is this is a small stretch. If a police patrol is on the highway, it helps a lot in terms of averting accidents and also crimes, because the presence of police in itself alone is a way of really averting criminal activities. So to have it limited only on the patrol team, only on the OIC, I think that's not enough. I think government should think of expanding this, although it will go with cost, but development is always expensive. That has to happen if we need to maintain. And the issue of energy was welcomed. He promised that end 2025, 90%.
95.
But the interesting thing there, as the president was speaking at the National Assembly, Kurango Tatale, I think over 10 times. Because I was checking with my feed, the live stream, it was going on and off, and people were complaining, and I had to check it was the power. Now it was going. How did that?
But with all that, he's telling Gambians that 95% of Gambians will have access to electricity.
By 20?
End of this year.
This year, the end of this year.
6 months' time.
Okay.
So, but then we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and see whether it will happen like that. I have always said this even well before he comes to power during Jammeh's, when they talk about rural electrification. I always said to myself, if you cannot stabilize the electricity in the urban, how can you do in the rural area? That was during Jammeh's time, Jawara's time, coming to. But the same trend comes on. So he's also assuring us that we will have electricity, 95% of Gambians. And the time is so short, 6 months.
In 6 months' time.
Yeah, it's relying on some helps here and there and some facilities that they are building in Jambu and other areas. Fine. If it happens that way, welcome. But I have my doubts. And the issue of river transportation. This government has said nothing about it. And the river transportation died during the latter years of Jawara. And the whole of Jammeh's time, nothing. And the whole of the 7 years of Barrow also. There were times when wharves were built across this country from Basse up to Banjul. And then you have Ledride, you have Ledichirel, you have them. And it is a lot, and then is the burden on our highways. And I think now with these new roads everywhere, if you have the river transportation in place also, that will really help to have roads live longer, because the traffic on them would be minimized. So, but throughout his speeches, Sona's speeches from 2017 to date, they're completely silent about this river transportation. Why, I don't know. Those are concerns that I have. And he also uploaded that I found that to be very interesting.
What is that?
He uploaded and acknowledged the remittance that is coming from the diaspora.
From the diaspora?
$775.6 million
US dollars.
And yet still, these people who are bringing this chunk of money in the country,
you deny them to vote.
Are denied to be registered, denied to be vote to vote in this country. That I found that very difficult to comprehend.
Interesting.
But I only hope that at one point in our sessions, his members of parliament will think twice to bring back clause 14. And enable, or do whatever we can do to enable the diaspora people vote, because you cannot really, when the whole president acknowledges such a big contribution from a group of people outside this country, really you cannot really just take them out of our political activities, particularly when it comes to elections. There are a lot, because like it's a long speech, and he mentioned of 2 new ferries. But I said again, because these promises have been there all the time. But hopefully this time around they will deliver them.
They will deliver them.
And when you come to local government, he mentioned this policy on land reform. We all know the major issue in this country today that is creating a lot of havoc between people is land.
It's land issues.
So if we don't have policy around to regulate it, it's just like a timing bomb. Whenever it's going to explode, nobody knows. And the president has mentioned this in his 2023 address. Mentioned it again in 2024 at one point. I think during the 2020 it's in advanced stage. 2024 still. And again, he has mentioned it. Hopefully this time around, this policy will come out. But then these are things that are of concern.
Yeah.
If we have this policy around, I think that will help us. So,
did the president mention anything regarding the shortage of cement that is happening in the country? Because that is the big problem for the past. Because the State of the Nation address is supposed to address issues that are happening at the time,
It's
right?
not only current affairs.
Current affairs.
To.
It's not limited to current affairs, but current affairs should also be included.
Yes.
Yeah.
But did he address that? Because right now, as we speak, that is the major issue in the country. The construction industry is complaining. Everybody is complaining. Was it mentioned?
in fact, the address should be about government policies.
Yeah.
So if we have a burning issue, government should have a policy around
that and tell
And
us what their position
president's
is.
statement is a policy statement.
Yeah.
He could have at least have a paragraph on it, but then that was completely out. Where probably I think that is catered, where he said his government has done everything to lower the basic commodity prices. And I ask myself how.
How and where?
Yes, because basic commodity prices, what we know, are skyrocketing.
Yes, every day.
But he is telling us that his administrations have lowered that. That is a question that probably he will respond to at the end of the two-day debates in the parliament. So probably this is that maybe that's where the cement issue is embedded, but it has not stand alone. It has not come as a standalone thing. He has not mentioned about it completely.
Honorable, first, what is your observation on the president when he came? I was also told when he came, he visited both caucuses, the majority caucus for the first time, and also the minority caucus, just to check on everybody. How was that atmosphere?
Thank you very much. To be honest, like you rightly said, the SONA this year is really unprecedented. It's a history to be remembered in the annals of Gambian history, as far as the president is concerned. Concerns have been raised last time by the opposition that people are clapping, we are politicized, we have to depoliticize
The SONA.
the SONA, even though Parliament is a political institution.
Yeah.
But because this is very sacred institution, and it's also a very important moment that we must reflect more nationalistic, in our dealings.
Yeah.
And that is why, measures have been put in place to make sure that at least we heed to advisors.
Yeah.
And the president is known for peace. And his statement today, when he moved the motion at the end, I rose to second the motion. That I told him that your statement that you have delivered today is a clear manifestation, it's a clear testament that the Gambia is in the right trajectory, both in development and in good governance. This is a government that everybody wants to reckon with. Based on the track record and what are really in the pipeline, in fulfillment of Section 77 surplus 1, condition of the country, what are the policies and program government has in terms of delivering promises. And if you look at it, it has touched every sector of the economy. And today he has really yet again demonstrated leadership again. Right after the SONA, he deemed it fit by himself to pay a courtesy visit in the majority office and minority office and call for unity.
Yeah.
And talk to both sides that we can differ in opinion. We can differ in our dealings, but it must be based on principle.
Yeah.
But not to paternalize things. I think that is really, really a message that resonates in our minds.
In fact, he also did that during his address. The theme was to emphasize unity.
Yeah.
He made sure, he said, political leaders, we can have divergent views,
course.
but
dissenting opinion, divergent views are tolerated in democracy.
Yeah, democracy.
But it must be based on principles. So even if you disagree, you know that, okay, Fatou is based on principle that I disagree with her. So I think that's the way forward.
Yeah.
And the president has really demonstrated that leadership, that even Speaker, myself, and everybody, him, the Deputy Minority Leader, and the UDP party leader was there luckily, which he has attested that this has never been happened.
Okay.
And Speaker said that the entire period of Jammeh, 20 years or 22 years, Jammeh has never thought of even paying a courtesy visit on the leadership of the House. You know, Parliament is two sides.
Yeah.
So those two sides compose Parliament.
Yeah.
So this today, and he has promised that this is now part and parcel of my dealing with you. It is now part of our routine program. Anytime we are coming here, it's now a tradition that we must pay a courtesy visit on both sides.
That's remarkable.
Yeah, it's not just to create that kind of interface, but create also that kind of inclusiveness.
That is important. That's important. So the issues that you said, the president touched on all issues, but like Madi said, he has not addressed corruption.
Yes.
Recently, we applauded you for calling for the extraordinary session. I remember we were supposed to have you on the show, but you were busy working on the extraordinary session that gave birth to the commission that is going to be set up by the National Assembly to investigate the dealings of the Janneh Commission.
Yes.
Now, this has been a big scandal, and the whole nation, even the president had to come and address the nation.
That's right.
If the president is talking about the State of the Nation address, don't you think the president should talk about corruption? Because there have been a series of corruption issues that have been raised recently in his government. But most recently, the Janneh Commission issues. Why was corruption not addressed broadly, showing the citizen what the country is doing, what the leadership is doing to make sure corruption is limited in his government?
Yes.
Why has that not been addressed?
Let me also assure you and the general public that the Barrow government remains resolute in the fight against corruption. You know, to say someone is corrupt is very easy to really make those allegations. But it takes, procedures and processes to really establish that fact.
That's true.
It's easy for opposition to say Barrow government is corrupt. But where are the evidence that show that they are corrupt? And His Excellency President Barrow, today in his sonnet, he has given a promising word. And this has been a clarion call by the opposition, particularly UDP leader, that the Parliament has passed the legislation on anti-corruption. Yet we are yet to see a commission. I refer you to page 7. He said, I'm pleased to inform this August Assembly that both the Victory Reparation Commission and the Anti-Corruption Commission, established through legislation passed by this Assembly, will commence operation in this legislative year. This is a laudable initiative, and we must appreciate the government, the president, for taking the bull by the horn, that we are now putting in place an institution, a commission that will now, Gambians will now have the latitude now or the leverage to relay complaints to this commission, this competent authority, for them to investigate. If His Excellency the President is not interested in fighting corruption, he would have buried this thing under the carpet and not wanting to establish a commission on his own. For him to have that political will, it shows that this man is open, he's transparent, and is ready for accountability. And Gambians really applaud his initiative and thank him for the foresight and leadership, for deeming it fit to make sure that he has promised the entire Gambia, length and breadth, that within this fiscal year, his government would put in resources, would put in the required expertise to make sure that we establish a commission whereby you and I can have access to. Anybody who you think you allege that has done corrupt practices, there's a competent authority now that will handle the matter. This issue of we trying to establish a commission of inquiry into these dealings is as a result or absence of lack of commission. Had it been there's a commission established, this parliamentary issue of investigating wouldn't have rights. Would have just go straight and lodge the complaint to the competent commission for them to investigate. So this is really
laudable, and it's laudable to have a commission. But what we're also saying is for the president to openly let us know, because obviously we have seen audit reports. They come to you first before we even see it in National Assembly. We have seen audit reports giving us clear indications as to what is happening in departments.
Yes.
Even government, the police have themselves investigated ministries and other areas who, you know, the national audits have flagged.
Yeah.
If the president and this government is really serious about combating corruption, it's not just about having that commission, because we also know there have been a lot of lapses in that commission. I have said that you guys, the National Assembly, have watered down.
There's no commission yet.
I mean, the commission, Anti-Corruption Act,
Yes.
right? A lot of these strong, how do you call it? The clauses have been watered down. We all know that. We have said that here several times myself. They have been watered down. And that is from your caucus, right? It's coming from your caucus. But what I'm saying, honestly, for the president to acknowledge that we all know, obviously, this Jana Commission and all other audit reports have outrightly shown us there are some issues that are happening in the system. And we all know that whether it's in the local governments or in the central government or in departments, it is there. And that is something the president should have let us know. What is the way forward? What are they going to do about that?
Yeah, that is why I said, His Excellency, I've been a true Democrat.
Yeah.
He believes in processes.
Okay.
Doesn't really believe in that, okay, I said Madi is corrupt, so I have to jump on Madi and then send him to jail. There has to be processes that have to be put in place.
Okay.
There is right an ongoing commission of inquiry into the dealings of the council, both Brikamera Council, the Banjul, the Kerr Fatou, and others.
Yeah.
So what I'm telling you, the way forward is that we have to institutionalize these things, and the perfect institution responsible for anti-corruption activity, it is to put a commission in place, at least as an institution whereby these things are put in place. There is no free corrupt nation anywhere.
No.
There is no democracy that you go to that issue of corruption, one or two cases are not found. But what is important? The government action, the government, move toward addressing it. The government must show some degree of seriousness in terms of showing an ugly eye to corruption, because corruption in any economy is a cancer. It kills down every economy. And that is why government in its foresight deem it fit to make sure that we have to pass the legislation. They brought the legislation in Parliament, which has been passed and then sent it to. Now what remains now, party leaders have been calling for President Adama Barrow to establish the commission as required by law to operationalize this institution. And that's exactly what I've done. So basically that's why I said it is very much gratifying for us to really see him moving toward a trajectory, making sure that the Reparation Commission, the Victim Reparation Commission, and the Anti-Corruption Commission have been established, where every citizen can really lodge complaint and then get a fair hear.
The president said the economy grew by 5.8%
Yes.
in 2024.
Yes.
The inflation dropping significantly.
Very well.
But food price, and I tell people, I don't know, look, if you tell me, if the World Bank and the IMF tell us, oh, your economy is doing well, your inflation is, and because the GBOS as the one who determine inflation, and they tell the central bank, if they tell us all these numbers, but I know that my bag of rice is going up, it's not going down. That is what is inflation for me. Safuno adamanji, maniboto damanji, tulo damanji, hanimburo adamanji, right? You cannot tell us these numbers, look, the economy is doing well, this is doing well. How is inflation steady? How is food prices not going down when everything in this country na seleta abukaji? Number one. Number two, the dollar is depreciating against the CFA continuously. This dollar is depreciating against the US dollar continuously for the past years. The dollar is depreciating against the euro. All major currencies we are depreciating against. And food prices are up. How are you telling us that inflation is not up? When our food is not down, the dollar is depreciating, everything is not down, but you're still telling us the economy is doing well. How is that possible?
Now, sure.
So, for NPP,
No, it's a common knowledge.
Okay.
To be honest, the Gambian economy is doing very well compared to the sub-region. I'm just going from
doing
there.
very well?
Very well.
Well, no,
I'm just coming from Liberia.
We don't agree. We are not
Probably,
doing well.
probably you don't really travel the length and breadth of this sub-region. But if you compare,
I do.
our
I mean,
leaders
I know you travel more than I do when it comes to that. Yeah.
When you travel within the sub-region, you get to appreciate the gap.
Right now, it's Mburo Dalafal from 10 to 12. Before I came, they sent the press release.
Okay.
As we are speaking.
You know, Fatou, I think what we are trying to tell the majority leader.
Yeah.
Let me just finish that.
Okay, yes.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying, it's an open secret that definitely there's reduction in the inflation. If you look at the economic outlook, you know, the economic growth, and as far as compared to previous years, you've seen the reduction. And you have now also seen that from 5.8% to 5.9% in December. That is in terms of economic growth. And if you look at in terms of inflation, the economic outlook of 2025 beyond shows even better prospect with a projected growth rate of 5.9% in 2025, and inflation falling in 9.6 by end 2025 from 17.5.
But that's my problem. Is the numbers.
I'm coming.
The numbers are not in tandem with what is happening on the ground.
If you want to really fight issue of dollar depreciation, if you want to fight in terms of basic food commodities, we must really invest in some productive sector of the economy to be a producing nation, not a consummatory economy.
Yes, that's
we can't be consuming as a country and expect to determine the prices of goods and services. It is not possible. So it's about us as Gambians to put all hands on deck to really grow bumper rice, bumper agriculture in terms of rice production, to have bumper harvest, and also to determine reduction of price. You can't determine a rice that is grown in Serbia or in Brazil, a sugar that has been grown in Brazil. So what is important is that we as a country, we must advocate for both the private sector to really venture into agriculture, and of course the entire citizen for us to also venture into agriculture. That is why government is taking so many, initiative in terms of creating subsidy for farmers to get fertilizer at a very cheaper rate, and also bringing farm inputs, tractors and power tillers. These are all geared towards and we cannot do that without. That's the basic truth. We can't do that with leaning or dependent on importation of goods. We cannot be a consumption economy. We have to be a production economy to even appreciate our dollars against the dollar.
And that is true. But
we are 60 years old.
Yeah.
We have had this several times. Productive sector. But it's just a lip service.
Yeah.
No government has really translated this to actions. The onus is on Barrow and his government to do the translation into actions. And the figures and the inflation you are talking about now, fine, it's beautiful in this speech. But it does fine. It's
the fact, yes.
Those are the numbers.
No, Fatou, I agree.
Okay.
Fatou, I agree with him that these are the facts in the book, but it does not reflect on my living.
What is on the ground?
Okay.
All right.
And my uncle in Patoto does not reflect on his life. What they can understand is the bag of rice at least stabilizes if it does not come down, but it stays at where it is for at least a good 2, 3, 4 years. That is what will mean to them that our economy is growing. If they go to the shop, they can have value of their dollars. But you know, today even mint, 1 mint is costing $2. So the value of the dollars is nowhere.
I'm saying
if $2
you
can
cannot
give you only
determine the price of a bag of rice when it's not grown in country.
That's what I'm saying. Who is responsible? We have given the management. Government is responsible to do that.
Under the Ministry of Agriculture. Under the Ministry of Agriculture, you have seen a total revamp in terms of agriculture in this country. You've seen how government is revitalizing the Sapo rice field. Go there.
Look.
You've now seen private sectors now. Jar Oil and
I agree with you.
Going into rice production now.
I agree with you if you say let us spend in the productive sector. And I agree that. And I said this has been said by Jawara, it has been said by Jammeh. Jammeh even went to say that grow what you eat and eat what you grow.
Yes.
But these things are not translated, and it's governments that are responsible of the laws and the policies of this country.
Yes.
If the government does not make it happen, it will not happen.
That's true.
It is only when we have a government that is really willing. I'm sure it will not be very, palatable to the people if they do that drastic change. Yeah. But I believe in me, after 1, 2 years, they will see what the president or that government wants to do. You know, if the living cost comes down, it reflects on our living livelihoods. Now, let's even not talk about these commodities. Go to rents.
Yeah.
People cannot afford it. So life is becoming impossible in the Gambia. We must have a system that can
I can assure you the price of bag of rice in the Gambia is compared to none in the entire South
No,
Africa.
we are not comparing ourselves with anybody else.
We need to also look at it. We are not,
Because, look,
Gambia is not an island.
How Nigeria is feeling.
Allow me.
But
No, you want us to compare ourselves.
No, sometimes it's
No,
good to do comparative
how
studies.
Nigerians are feeling.
No, wait. It's good sometimes to do a comparative analysis of the region.
The salaries that
Because
they are paying in Nigeria,
not,
even Senegal
we are
here.
not an
Even
island as a
Senegal
country.
here. Even Senegal
We
here.
are not an island. So
Yes,
we
I
live
agree.
within the same world.
agree.
When there are global shocks, it affects everywhere.
Yeah.
But
that's why we have
country's-
governments.
Yes, your country's resistance in terms of responding to those shocks matters a lot.
Very
and that
well.
is why governments put in place policies and programs that makes us at least to be on a very minimum and considerable rate compared to others. It's important that we are not in an island. We are not outside the wall. We are within the wall. So we must accept the realities that the hardship is global.
But
it's not
Now let's compare.
peculiar
Okay,
to Gambia.
let's compare ourselves with Senegal. If the cost of living there is high, how much is a Senegalese parliamentarian paid, and how much are we paid? That's the comparison. You cannot compare
like
only on
this.
one side.
I can tell you for
You
free.
can't compare on one
I
side.
can tell you for free.
Yes.
If you listen to His Excellency President Barrow, he recognized the hardship that the country is really facing. And for us to really go through that, come after the wood, you must put money in people's pocket to spend their way out of these things. And that is why the salary increment comes in place. If you do a benchmarking now, make a rigorous study, thorough research, and look at the minimum wage in the Gambia, it's more than Senegal. Senegal minimum wage is $95. Gambia, we are busted at $100. If you go to Sierra Leone, it's $45.
Gambia minimum wage is what? $100?
$100. If you go to Sierra Leone, they are having $45. If you go to,
Do you agree with me that your counterpart in Senegal gets more money than you?
No, it's not about me, but look at the minimum wage.
I'm talking about your
If we are
position.
trying to,
Let's position. I'm not talking about you in passing. The member of parliament in Senegal gets more money than us, the member of parliament in Ghana. So therefore, I think that is not for me.
no,
If I am given chance to rule this country, this issue of salary,
yes,
I will even cut salaries.
yes.
The monies that I will save from those salaries, the productive sector we are talking about, all those resources will pump it to that sector because we must have that done.
Who allocate resources?
You agree with me?
Who allocate resources?
You agree with me that we shouldn't have a consummatory.
Is it members of parliament?
Yeah.
What?
But okay, my thing is here, before we go to that other debate.
You want to sift responsibilities from the government to the member of parliament.
That's why I don't even want to go to that debate. Before we go to that debate, you guys touched on something that is very important. That is, you are debating on why policies to make food affordable. He's talking about benchmarking to other countries, but also governments have different policies and directions to how they can do that. This government, what they did was to give tax levy to businessmen who want to bring food commodities. For all these years, they have taken money that belongs to us, the taxpayers, and give it tax breaks to people that are bringing rice, oil, and others. But still, the rice have not gone down.
It will never.
Nothing is going down. It seems like that policy is not working.
And they're making
If
millions
you
on
have
us.
tried that, right? Because I believe the goal is to make the food affordable. That is why government made that. Because
Not only affordable, but also accessible.
Accessible. And I have said that openly here. That is a good initiative. But us, the consumers, are not feeling it. Now you're giving these people millions and millions in tax breaks on behalf of us, the people, so the food can be accessible and cheap. But that is not happening. That means that policy is not working. What should government do to make that policy work? Because the problem is, the cry out there is everything in this country is expensive. That is the fact.
You see, Fatou, I think we really have to appreciate what this government is really giving us. Government did that, to really exempt tax on rice and sugar.
Yeah.
It's in a good intention. That is to make sure that at least to bring the price down.
Yeah.
But we've seen that with those initiatives, the price hasn't come down.
Yeah.
Substantively. And that's why government is now taking another approach again. How do we now push the private sectors now to go into commercial agriculture? We must really focus our direction on that. Not only government. The private sector has to now engage in productive agriculture, in commercial agriculture. And that is why you've now seen big names now venturing into Marua farms are there now. You have the JAO, you have the Q group that are now really into serious agriculture. And like I said, you cannot determine a price of a commodity that is not grown here. You don't have a say over it.
I agree with that.
We must also be ready to tell the truth to our people that yes, there's hardship, and it's not peculiar to Gambia. It's everywhere. No. But the beauty is that the government has a listening ear, and they are listening every day. We are looking for solutions, and that is why, in terms of the Ministry of Agriculture, they are taking agriculture very seriously in terms of injecting so much assistance in subsidy in fertilizer, subsidy in tractors. Right now, you've approved in Parliament, you know, and I know, 50% of the fees that are paid in these tractors, government is now coming to take some part of it to make sure that we encourage our farmers to move from subsistence agriculture to commercial agriculture. For us to have a bumper harvest to feed ourselves and also sell.
You see, when government does that, government should not only just fold hands and say, well, these things. You must also follow and monitor whether it is working.
Yes.
So, like, I agree with you, commodities that are coming from outside, we cannot determine their prices. But if rice is coming from outside, if we have policies in place and we are injecting enough money to that sector and rice is grown here, it will be competitive. So people will buy in this rice and that price will fall because there will be demand and supply.
Yes.
So therefore we have more supply, automatically the prices will come down. Unless governments are serious. I have not seen any serious government in the Gambia, from Jawara regime to the Barrow regime, in trying to tackle this issue. They always give us a lip service that, yes, we should spend at productive sector, but no government has done it. And they're not doing it. They must start doing it. Yes, if you start it, it may be really, like I said, not be palatable to people, but just after some time, they will see that this thing will change their lives. We must have that done.
I think other way also, we need some attitudinal change. Not only government, but the entire citizenry at large.
Yeah. But you see, if you
I'm coming. I've seen President Buhari taking a very giant step when he was the president in Nigeria. He banned importation of rice. That is, you must go back to the farm. Government will not import rice, and there will be no rice that will be imported in this country. You must go back to the farm.
But I would not have the fit to do that.
No, listen to me. I'm just telling you that other countries did try that, and it doesn't really work. Nigeria tried that. But attitudinal change is key here. We must change attitude. It's just worked for 4 years. But the president was too much on the government, and they become food scarcity, the price upsurge, they have to leave.
But I can tell you one thing. I agree with you.
Yes.
Attitudinal change.
Yes.
And it must start with the head.
Everybody.
President Barrow should start first.
And he's leading.
Because, no, this issue of corruption, Barrow says that, no, just wait. I'm connecting it. He says here,
like the opposition
the auditors, no, not the opposition. No. The auditors have raised issues here. And Barrow said that's an opinion. So that is not a good leadership sign.
No.
You shouldn't have said that.
And you, we all know that.
You shouldn't have said that.
Audit claims are opinions.
So it's an audit should say it's an opinion.
No. What?
You have set up a department of audit department.
You know that.
They did the auditing.
No, listen to me.
They have,
you know that
things.
when auditors audit a particular firm, they come, what do they come out with?
And you say
they come out with an audit opinion. No, let's try to
just opinion.
No, I'm coming.
Opinion.
When an audit an institution, what do they come out with as an end result? It's audit opinion. When they come with audit opinion, they now tell us the degree. Is it an adverse opinion or otherwise? So if it's an adverse opinion now, then it's now left for Parliament to now look at those opinions. Because once a national audit office are ready with their audit, they send to Parliament. Parliament also, we are being empowered by our constitution to refer those into the police, immediately IGP, for actions. So basically, every audit exercise at the end of it is an opinion.
Majority Leader,
it depends
what I am saying
whether
here,
it's an adverse opinion or otherwise.
Majority Leader, what I'm saying
but it's
here,
an opinion.
Yeah,
Okay.
Majority,
Yes.
what I'm saying here is, as president,
Yes.
you set up that office. They did their auditing, and that is brought to your attention. The comment from you should not be, this is just an audit opinion. If you say that you were killing people's spirit, I would not have said that.
But we have to agree for the fact that the end result of an audit exercise is an opinion.
But the way he said it is like, this is just an opinion.
The
My friend, it depends on how you use the language,
Anyway.
the word.
Yeah, a lot of us said
A
that
serious
was,
president will not do that.
So the other thing,
I think the
also-
oppositions, they don't have anything to say now. It's just a corruption.
No, but
As a
I
campaign
have, I
team
have
now.
listed things here.
His
No,
Excellency President Adama Barrow,
You have
the
said here.
trajectory in which
No,
he's taking this
you have
country
said-
is
you have-
unprecedented.
You have said here.
From electricity,
He has
water,
said here corruption
road
is
construction.
a
And
cancer.
let me tell you.
You said that.
Let me tell you.
No. You said
Development,
corruption is a cancer.
a bedrock of
Cancer is a
every
very serious
country to
disease.
triumph
The nation's economy.
in terms of development is infrastructure. And that is why His Excellency has based his development trajectory on infrastructure.
when
And
we
if
say
corruption-
infrastructure, let me come there.
you.
You
No, I'm quality road. Because such an
Now,
because at the barrel at the mambarolong bantanga barolon
Mom,
Bari yalo
I can make a
structure
Huh?
infrastructure
Wow.
fadu
I'm telling you.
fadu kodo lekatani infrastructure
And-
ni yung kodo sunyata ite quality infrastructure
Iman sunya,
And then this is the
Hello,
thing.
Nubula.
And this is the thing.
mulla bolul be koleari
We all said
albe sunyarola
Mumata sunyarola.
If you are saying-
Aku banku digol filindi.
mulla albe sunyarola
Sunyaron change.
everywhere all support ya fundi
No,
jande
Anyway, let's proceed.
hani covid
confrontational.
kodo membe bunta siki sakata o be jande
Yo,
kina ba ko lo
ko yalo memo man la fi pour ga ke confrontational.
hani kacala man confrontation kacala
Kacala.
ren ka ko yalla ka ko fen len ka fon hani
Ma ko fen.
atu audit report funte jande ko covid kodo tapale ata jande
Ha. Fo action mantaji.
yamay
Action Juma.
Is that
Action Juma.
the parliament for action taji.
Ale.
Yeah. But the man long America all these things.
Muna recover that.
And Ninka.
Muna recover
Ata
that.
Ninka even the impresses.
impressive
COVID.
Ma fo ko ko bi dem.
impress
COVID.
ne impress nadi I'm not holding
Hold
barrow
the court right now.
No.
But the man long ko the PS of high in court.
Hani but woman get COVID. That was not COVID. That is a
It's not
No,
COVID.
that's a different one.
No.
Woman get COVID.
No.
COVID.
go
I'm not saying COVID. Very much.
Minale.
Okay.
control ni HIV lo wati
Yes.
Okay.
but we are not on top of it
Oh, okay.
I like them for young, and I think it's important. You're talking about how the prices all stabilize, and I think Gambia will be left all because I'm Intela Mama Dolobje NPP lo. So ni na be nyosa bola fen ko la baro baro barin ka unta da min dron kaspa wa ka mi he to nya kaspa wo sel danga do ka sa masin kilina ngai ko NPP wo independent wo GDC UD me ka sa ngai ko dron bari ngada ko wotol abetat. But the thing is,
But what I can excellency.
the thing is,
okay.
excellency mantra kuke can downward prices, and some of your policies towards issuing atule fongo manza kundale fongo be banku dingola batala faka afo nyanyadi cement wala karo. When it comes to cement, up to B, ndela dokula hena lorry. You know, one of my, I hope he hears me, drama from Lamen. I can supply cement. You know what he told me? Intabanta cement o dilela. Masoto because albuka fo because it doesn't affect you. These are family people. Mi anko motol be bulu. Ikatela motol leta. E Gambian dingol kije Gambian no dingo mo ta cement o san Senegal ya na nati ya wafi Gambian no like affordable and accessible. Ila motol haine pakta fo be komonkan.
Okay.
Ninja oil man cemento soto tonya nu ja oil la cemento ka bete ajang mo ni wo man soto dol intela contractor ka afero ni man ja oil soto kana do sanyam malafa. That is the fact. Most of the contractors will tell you. Now ninja oil la stock man nana cemento ko sto banko ka B cemento tatale for 500 and something nte ningo je mba sanale bari nyama loaka and no be mo nati government la policy ni ma pare. Look, I am all in for supporting.
Thank you.
Let me come. I am all in for supporting local industries. We need Jar Oil and other companies in this country to grow.
Yes.
We want them to grow so that they can compete in the international. But if they are not ready to supply everybody, we cannot kill other small businessmen just because we want to encourage Jar Oil and others. That is not fair.
Yes.
It's affecting the economy, but it's also affecting Gambians. Just because you want to support 3 or 4 business people. How rational is that as a policy?
Just 3 or 4 people. It's a long World Cup bank with Jelle employee in their factory.
So you
I'm coming. Right? No, yalo memo. Atol mo kilina kafoko. Janinka wula ko nyino balundi alnga su ko nyino balundi.
Rationally.
Rationally.
Okay.
Atol mo kilina wala kafoko. Gambianization. Jannin ka bula ko nyino balunde al nga su ko nyino balunde.
Tonya.
Nyim factory don't look at them as just an edifice.
No, we're not.
Ite alon ko nyul ka ko do men dundi Gambia la fankoto.
Yeah.
Nata in terms of electricity. Ika ko do men jo nawek and cast power. Nyil be kata banko do konto.
Yeah.
Fabo de ika tax men jo. Fabo de ika banko dingol men ta do kola. Jang.
Yeah.
So to be honest, every serious government, Iman left to open up a door whereby to kill those people again, and hundreds of people will now lay off from employment. Kol kadetele, nas kole anatarek nga lonyo fanatale, but government is doing everything possible pour ka ja salam ning gasem ke engaged. Why? 3 factories you'll be so that ko ja oil. We shouldn't have shortage. But then,
for the past 1.5 years.
But right now, as I'm driving in now, I've seen trucks of cement now.
No. As we speak today, I can call suppliers 3 people. For the past 1.5 years, cement or supply man steady, cement or price or lafa. Indirectly,
you see, we should really
construction industry is the most viable in this country.
To look at instant solution. Yellow African moment is an instant solution. Mbuka mira samala to grow things as in never sama. But ali kolongo ni sing. Adoba tima sing itna jo minna. But na meta. Imu murungolo kana ke nafuna faji. Let's all work together, both government and the private sector. Can you empower? Nothing stops even from individuals to buy a share in these companies. Natara ila challenge capitality. Nga nyul ke national priority. Nge jankundi nge nyani nyoto.
But must it be to the extent of the entire population?
It's not about extent of the entire
population. Because that is what is happening.
You always see it's just once in a while not happen.
No, it's not once in a while.
Of course. For more Sabarota.
No.
The booming economy right in this country is construction. And thanks to Jao and others. Majority available in the
Majority.
The booming economy in this country right now, the booming sector in the industry is construction. Industry.
And we don't have cement right now.
No, I'm coming. It is the volume of demand for cement. This is even good as a country. What this portrays is that people are really investing in this country.
We should have it, but
it should be available. It's not available.
Yes, I'm saying what this scarcity of cement portrays is that, to be honest, Gambia is on the right trajectory in terms of development.
But should government
it has a previous regime. Nyimbulo mamasya, but now alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Thank you very much.
Demand Seattle.
Thank you.
Ila mansa kunda mano. Almano to alcohol. Almano supply. Demand is high. But almano supply came.
Nyimundene majelati.
But almano supply no. Almano. Anyway.
President
Barrow.
President Barrow tempo men nadja
ako tulu kolon fule yo lesing
yalo Fatou
ani mbadu you have to save can dem na ta 60
ya jele nkamenke nyimbe mu tempo democracy nyimbe BBB President Barrow only this piece I meant somebody about or the man can pray campaign.
No, the credit goes to Gambia no long. Among President Barrow, Gambia do democracy na jang.
Lamoy
Fadu. Ni ka mo mislead le. Baroma democracy na jang. Gambia do democracy na jang. Baroma peace na jang. Gambia do peace na jang. This credit goes to Gambians, not Barrow. That's what you should stop misleading the country. The credit goes to Gambians. The credit goes to Gambians.
So what?
The democracy and the peace is Gambians.
I make
Barrow more killing Dorandi. Barrow was here having 60 years ago, Abidjan. The democracy is Gambian. This worshiping leadership like this is uncalled for. Not President Barrow. Gambia no le piso men sapati ni jam. President Barrow. Gambia no le
who is leadership.
The change. The change. Gambia no change.
Yenda duale nyatonkoe.
Ni Gambia no change. Ni Gambia no change. Ya ta kenola.
Na mankana.
You must
kola kendi
go to Gambia.
Hanate mo fulale ale mo suwandi nyatonkoe.
Ha bari must go to Gambia.
Nyatonkoe is very important anywhere.
Juma la ke nyatonkoe.
Dino ko. al sidway
jumale yake nyaton ko
na tran sidwa so mesa
jumale yake nyaton ko
gambiano dem
oto gambiano la ko di gambiano la
nan manjaro ka kene sodo
credit ko di gambiano la
bar nani tak kene sodo banko ka florist
na credit ko di gambiano la
florist
arke mol mislead le credit ko gambiano le tati credit ko gambiano le tati
gambiano taliba extend to Baro
2016 wala changes na
ni so bar ni isma min yakari bu sambaru la atale no of course
on the final note because me I have to go fix
tulo ni Baro mna fona after diaspora janin tulo quickly
and bandit
6.44
so we have
somebody's time
yeah we have 10 minutes
so fuela
so bi jare mbatuka yalo
ako
yalo ni manye bi siri
ako no
manyo bi siri
no tamo do maga so di wo mari ya ko self
so president Barrow e mune fo tulo to bayri hin tulo diamo jammena ta e tulo finte po
ayende jikla tendi
barinte fo latal ko tulo be mbulle
ani de ayende jikla da ko tulu kolom fula la sint
Barrow
ko bari o tulu kolom fulo jikko bi jed tulo man sota folo
ayol fo
so what is clear to Gambians man tulu sota folo
Barrow
Abidjan
yalo mem Fatou
too well
more as a leader foi tonya foi le bank money
that's right tulo man sota
he's President Barrow is above that Kanaka most mislead because of political gain or because of chief of popularity at Wakela. Memo factor ball for this man, he has an abundance of integrity. So all I can be a core. So far, the prospect is very high. But the Kafoga to know Finkele Ale at Jam is important. And Jiko is very, very high. Inshallah, Absolutely. In fact, for now, in the latter part, every country in Africa, I believe.
Honorable.
So what I can do is important. Katonya lankema moli, hanna tara particular advantage, hanna tara mokale dia moli, baranga tonya fonya is very important. A last statement B. Na opposite back. There is prospect.
There's prospect.
It's very, very high. But Kafoko nga sudole. He has to be very careful.
One thing I know.
Sinin sama kulem.
Abitata Jamel nyimfo ka ni Jamel ma foto membaro ne nyimfo. Let's give Jamel ju.
President Barrow ko do nyimi. Endinga tuloje nyame. Tulo kam ko jiwo. Dawda ne din ko sibe jiwo so. Dawda ni asibe tulo so dole bari joral men be sindro ka futa tulo ma. Wala tembulo ko fero ko wala.
Government buka invest in some drilling. No government can drill oil.
Every country has it.
Company like invest in drilling. It's very expensive.
You know the process.
$100 million. So Ninkom also like drill. We have our present issues and national concerns. I think invest jela than Kafoka and explore. We are going to give license. 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 Promise that now they did. Of course. But I'm not materialized.
Okay.
These are pledges. Pledges don't materialize. President Barrow, Billahi, one letter lie. Take it or leave it. I need bank contract from Nyame.
Within 7 years.
He's a revolutionary in development.
7 years.
Within 7 years.
You cannot fool anybody.
In terms of
development,
people are dying.
In terms
and
of
you are saying President Barrow has transformed this country.
Revenue generation.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Honorable.
What was your budget when you come to Parliament? What was the budget?
Honorable.
When you come to Parliament? 500 million in a month. Because of discipline, financial discipline. And trying to make sure that there is single account. He has locked all these leakages.
I'm happy that Gambians are no fool.
No, President Barrow.
I'm very happy that Gambians are no fool and nobody can
That's
fool
why
them.
I said today.
Because what you are saying here,
President Barrow for continuity.
What I'm saying,
President Barrow for
you
continuity.
can say that for propaganda. You can say that for propaganda. But I can tell you one thing, you cannot fool Gambians. You and Barrow cannot fool Gambians. You and Gambians, you and Barrow will never fool Gambians.
Billah Wallah is in the best interest of this country. For continue. The development strategy may not I start. I I'm telling you,
we have had this
country is developing. Whether you like it or hey, we just had some ECOWAS mission here.
Go.
Senegal and Nigerian call hey, this country, to be honest, is developing. Cabrier Silorje, ye Lampolje, Crown, ye Hotel.
Let them go into Gambia.
This country is.
Let them go into the Gambia.
It's about good governance.
Gambia is not all about Senegal here. You see.
God,
you see, ite imu dinding leti.
Mag dinding ku.
Yaje jawra jabang leti ngina fida. Jawra pangkal. Belam po jinnal. Yaya came and Yaya brought dramatic development in this infrastructure. Schools and hospitals.
We have to tell.
You are telling us that Barrow. Barrow has nothing to give us now.
During Jawar regime, they live in the government. And the time me yalong at one kulita. Mojamanka we middle to that time they are very young. Imankole along. Kola nako alngani story sata mole. Salonko Gambia fanan tatanong nyintole. We pass through the difficult moment. Whereby you queue for rice. There are difficult moments.
More queue the rice.
Gambia Ceesay Como.
We show for no vehicle. 81
kuleta. During
our time, you have NTC, where you have rice abandoned in every corner.
Barrow is doing a lot. Yalo niman kunul to be appreciated.
Wallahi, because
but near kunul is to be appreciated. No.
But among kunul
94 didn't go to be signed. Makunul move in parliament and co-president for continuity. Continuity. That's my best slogan.
You are not even talking about Tata.
No, not Tata.
Continuity.
It's continuity.
When that's left to the Gambians, he cannot.
President Barrow for continuity.
You can say what you want to say,
of course.
But you will never pull Gambia.
In the best interest of opposition.
You never pull Gambia. You never pull Gambia.
This pool,
Gambians are very aware.
If they're going for campaign,
Gambians are able to change.
President Barrow, as a Democrat, through tolerance, he accepts tolerance as cardinal principle of democracy.
He must
to make sure to give security to opposition candidates to go and campaign.
He cannot be
Billay, it is in your best interest for this man to stay here in power.
He cannot be otherwise.
For your protection and your fundamental human right to be guaranteed.
Look, we're talking about institutions. We are not talking about
Gambia shall always be the capital of human rights in Africa.
It's not about President Barrow. It's about institutions. Barrow is not putting in
Gambia as the capital of human rights in Africa.
That can really save this country. He's not putting anything in place.
We have seen this country.
So it's not all about an individual. It's about system and creation of systems.
It is because of
so if you are talking about Barrow as
dynamic leadership of Barrow. Look at now.
Barrow thinks nothing.
How much is your revenue collection now?
What revenue collection?
How much?
But it's
not
is that from Barrow? Is for Gambia?
What?
Barrow is for Gambia.
It's us
No, wait.
It's Gambia. Is it from Barrow or Gambia?
It's us we are in the taxes.
How much will your collection? When I come to Parliament, me and you, we're having 500 million per month. It's because of stringent economic measures. And Barrow has
was that by a person or
Honorable, let me come. Last question. Honorable, let me. I like that question you said, right?
Leaders.
You're saying this.
I don't worship leaders. No.
If
I'll do it, but I imagine.
If GI,
I need to do it, but I imagine.
okay, for
Thank you.
Very good. If GRA is collecting over $1 billion,
but we should not worship leaders. We should look at institutions.
We don't worship leaders. No, I'm not worshiping.
Let me ask this question.
Let me come.
Honorable, let me come. If Barrow is collecting, GRA is collecting over $1 billion every month, but the government is using it in areas that are not productive. Traveling. No, let me come. Let me
look
finish.
At the amount of construction within the Banjul.
That is not production sector. The production sector is different from road construction. This government's agenda.
Everything linked to infrastructure.
But let me finish. The president said.
A chunk of our money go to paying our debts.
And transportation and infrastructure. And we all know what happens in the infrastructure sector.
We are dying.
The production, the agriculture.
It's to reduce it. Let me refer you. Of course.
No, the agriculture sector.
Look at our debt now.
The state house,
look at our debt. Fatou, let me enlighten you.
Why?
Fatou, let me enlighten you about our debt structure right now. It's reducing.
Okay,
Kana nyindanku.
Okay.
In a parallel, as far as this number is concerned, 2024, national debt to GDP ratio declined from 71.8% from 75% to 70%. 5% reduction.
Okay, how much is 70% of the debt?
No,
that's billions.
The sustainable.
So we are dead.
We are within the sustainable threshold of debt. Sustainable threshold of debt is 70%. We are within that. Hey, there is nothing bad in terms of taking debt.
That's why we cannot develop.
We have just approved me and you $93 million invest.
Alman Juluta can invest.
Invest.
Honorable President
Barrow is concerned about even this electricity tariff. Working now, his government is now changing their trajectory now, their approach entirely in terms of clean energy. Imagine in Jambu Solar Plano. Now there will be very soon in Masako in Jara Soma. They will be constructed there about 200 megawatts. Embassy also is coming in the pipeline. So basically, these are all geared towards in terms of reducing the dependency ratio on fossil fuel to make sure we go to clean energy. We have a smart president.
What I'm telling you,
we have a dynamic leader.
We have a smart president. We have a dynamic leader.
You cannot drift from there. We are saying important here is how much money are we owing? It's too much. How much is
I'm telling you that it's going down.
How much money or how much
is going down?
Our budget is servicing our debts.
It's going down.
This is what is killing us.
I understand, but it's going down, my Madi.
70%.
The figures are there is going down from 7%. It used to be 5%.
From 75 to 70.
From 76.8 to 70%. Next year it will go down.
So it's evident, Honorable, it's evident that the diaspora is the biggest investor in, you know.
It's not about diaspora. We appreciate their.
Let me finish my question.
The remittances,
remittances, President I acknowledge that. But still, actual National Assembly members, the majority
caucus. Is it the Sona now or is the...
It's part of the Sona.
Okay.
It's part of the Sona.
I acknowledge that.
Let me tell you.
Let me participate in the process of their country.
It's not about... Okay, you see, thank you very much. I want you to go diaspora Bali. No, you've asked me.
Go ahead.
You see, Natra diaspora, any party in diaspora. So for be.
Okay.
But then, we are against the modalities. Yes, there are constitutional provision there. Section 27 gave the right for them to participate. Every citizen in the Gambia has the right, reserve right to vote and vote for. That's 75. Section 80 says that the constitution of the Gambia is 53 constituencies in the Gambia. That's Assembly constituency is 53. Now, Ninkata Febeterla within those 53. It means that you cannot have election outside of those ones. However, that's technicality because that's not an entering clause. Section, is it 30? 39. Shows the region of the Gambia and where election could be conducted. You understand? But then, Tolko, we have seen the engagement with them. They have identified about how many regions? Is it 10 regions or 10 countries? That is where election should be conducted. My issue is about fairness. Ninko in fulfilling of Section 25, it means that every Gambian, the Section 27, I mean for is every Gambian has the right to vote and vote for. So you cannot just cherry pick few countries that let's do election on this and others are not taken care of. No. And secondly, we must accept the reality on ground. As a country, we don't have the financial muscle to conduct election in each and every country in the world. And also, we should also elect our people that Gambia is only present in 29 capital cities in the world. Out of 198 countries in the world, we are only present in 29 capital cities. How do you conduct the election? Why are we only 29?
Argument does not hold water.
You understand? So basically, it's about fairness.
No, wait.
It's about equal participation. Because if you happen to conduct election in, let's say, 5 or 6 or 7 states in the diaspora, someone from Senegal here can contest the result. That is a violation of Section 27.
Honorable Tunkara,
Yalone.
Somebody
can say that
when we started
my right
in this country, when we
so basically,
listen to me
let's
now.
look at the Commonwealth.
We know you say it's not fair.
In England, they don't do diaspora voting.
Honorable.
In Ghana, there's no diaspora voting.
We heard you.
In Salon,
said because we cannot have it in all the countries.
In Nigeria,
that's your basis.
same thing.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. That's your basis.
What is important?
We cannot have it in all countries. That's your basis.
Money.
Okay, fine. Sign Lamoy.
Say
Lamoy.
Kabrim
election of Kumasi in Bangkok. First elections. Not every Gambian participated in the elections.
Yes.
Of course.
Not everybody. Some participated.
Yeah.
There were times when, in fact, it was the protectorate only.
Yes.
Gradually, we moved to South Bangkok Beketa.
Yeah.
Saying Gambia has never had this diaspora voting.
Yeah.
Nabe start on Bangkok Bekan Dunia Kono. We must sample countries and start there.
Is that fair?
Yes.
It's not fair.
That's how I can jump from national turf where I start Nyami. So if you say that you have to conduct it everywhere in this well, then you are just simply saying you don't want them to vote. That's what they are doing. They expunged section clause 14 from the bill. That's all we are doing. So Kapuko, that's not possible. Even the richest countries are not conducting in every country. You group them, and these diasporas have done a very good job. Yeah, they maple, then they group them to regions. That's all.
Yeah.
So let's just start.
And obviously, only diaspora.
You don't want us to
You guys met with the diaspora group
Several times.
and they have come with solutions, and they even want to help to this.
You say we cannot start because we don't have to conduct it all over the world. That's not
what I'm telling you.
Anyway, the diaspora.
The issue about diaspora voting.
Serious about diaspora
we are not against it.
You are against it.
But no.
Well, I can allow 14 bondi.
No, we're not against it.
Why did you remove the?
We are against the modality.
Well, then you are
It's about fairness.
I cannot be registered.
We are campaigning for fairness.
You are not
and equity.
Even within the country here, are you fair?
But at least nobody's been deprived.
Nobody's
been
voting
deprived
here.
unless at your own volition. That is why I believe as a Democrat that people should be punished for not voting. I believe in that principle.
It is not mandatory.
Yes, it's mandatory, but I'm saying that once government has given you,
let's put it in the law.
Those privileges,
I agree with
it's
you.
a rare opportunity for it. Okay, you agree?
I agree with you. Let's put it in the law.
Punishment for voting.
But then before you do that, you must enable Gambians abroad to vote
here. Government has given the privilege. That is why
they cannot be giving you $776 million every year. So they cannot participate in our elections. And they're saying, okay, now, at one point, these diaspora people are willing to foot the bill.
Yes,
they said that.
They said that.
So where is the body now?
Have you ever seen electoral? You don't do that.
No, they are not going to do it on their own. They will pay into government coffers. No,
you don't do that, my brother.
Even our elections are outsiders are paid.
I'm not saying that. How can you collect money? I mean, as any sensible government does that.
No,
you want to collect money from
the government is useless. They cannot have it.
No,
the government is incapable of doing it.
Useless.
And incapable of doing it.
We'll get there, Madi.
How when?
Democracy is a process.
When are you going to get there?
Do you believe in that?
It must start.
That's why we're doing it.
Why are you not starting it now?
No, listen to me, my brother.
You are not serious about this diaspora.
There are political hitches that we cannot
You
start
are
now.
not serious about this diaspora. I urge you, when we go back to Parliament, let's listen our decision.
Let's look at
Let me tell you one thing.
You are the majority.
We are more than you in terms of diaspora.
I'm not saying that.
There is even an advantage.
No, we are not even talking about number.
More people.
No, of course.
But look,
they know that.
We are not talking about you are more or not more. We are saying give them the privilege. Give them the privilege to vote. Anywhere they want to vote, let them vote. Let them vote for you, fine.
It's guaranteed on
the privilege
it's guaranteed on 27 radio constitution.
Which is guaranteed?
It's guaranteed.
But the violating it. Are not provided.
It's
violating it.
You
rejecting them.
No, we are not.
You exploit for it.
No.
Now you are
people know.
Crippling that.
Everybody knows that this government is not serious about it.
No.
That's what
we are serious.
You will never allow it.
Let me tell you one thing. Like I said, I've given you my reason in advance.
Me, I have to go
and
now.
Let me tell you, it's not a big cry to say, okay, would you attack other democracies in the world that they have crippled their democracy because they didn't allow that's what the vote?
No, but because
Tell me a single country, even the ones we consider poorest, Bissau, have their citizens voting.
They vote here.
Tell me which country. I'm doing it.
Let me enlighten you. Go to Spain, it's not there.
You're comparing to
No, it's the same country. It's challenging me now on the TV. Go to the Ghana, it's not happening there. Go to Nigeria, it's not happening there. Go to Liberia. I've observed election on the ECOWAS. I've observed election in all these countries. More especially the Commonwealth countries.
I don't agree.
And it's not there.
I don't agree with
Prove
you.
me wrong.
I don't agree with you.
One country, I've given you more than 4 or 5.
I'm now saying I don't agree with you. You are trying to
make a research.
People.
Make a research.
Stop doing that. Look,
no.
Because Nigeria has not done it, so Gambia should not do it.
Ghana didn't do it.
Because they didn't do it, we should not do it.
Liberia didn't do it.
So because we cannot do it?
I'm not saying that. You asked me to give an example. I'm giving an example.
Okay, now you give me your example. Now I'm throwing back.
Do you agree with this one?
Now I'm telling you now, because this...
Did you agree with that?
Let me agree with what you said.
Good.
And I'm saying, because they did not do it, so Gambia should not do it.
I'm not saying that.
That's what you are saying?
We are against.
That's what you are implying?
We are against the modalities.
That's what you are... No, you are not. You are not.
I'm just telling you that it is
who
not...
Who are in control of the modalities?
It is not unique.
Who are
it's not peculiar.
Who are in control of the modalities?
It's not
you.
Do you know why I give it?
Parliament.
Wait. Do you know why I give it an example? For you to know that Gambia is not unique
of the modalities.
It's not peculiar to Gambia.
Who are responsible?
I've given
it's you and me.
Listen to me.
No.
I've given you
the modalities that you are against.
No, listen
who
to
are
me.
responsible?
No, listen to me.
No.
The
issue is about
you
the
modalities. Me, I've given an example.
No, but now you are saying modalities.
No, wait.
You are saying modalities.
No.
Who is responsible for the modality?
Just wait now, Madi.
No.
Calm
That's
down.
the modality.
We are in discussion.
Yes.
Now,
who is responsible?
I'm coming. I will answer that.
Let me answer that. Who is
the reason why you asked me?
Modalities.
That give me an example. I did.
Yeah, who's the more responsible?
And I said because they did not, so we should not do it.
I have given an example to assure you that it's not just peculiar to Gambia.
Yes.
You have to accept that truth.
And so therefore we should not do it.
I'm not saying we don't do it. For you to know that it's also happening in other Commonwealth countries.
Let's do it because they are pumping a lot of money in this
I've given you my opinion.
Yes.
Once you are ready to make sure that every Gambian outside are eligible to vote, I'll support it.
Yes. What I'm saying now, the modalities you say you have the problem with.
Yes.
Who are responsible?
I've given a position now.
But you are the
modalities.
The modalities.
I am in support for diaspora to vote if every Gambian diaspora has a chance to vote.
Of course they have a right to vote.
Okay, let's do that.
Every Gambian.
Then let's bring back
everybody.
Yes, let's bring.
Okay, problem. No, let's Isaac.
Okay, you agree. No, Fatou, we have reached an agreement.
They have the capability.
We have reached an agreement now.
Yes, not agreement.
Now, no. Now
listen.
let's bring back clause.
My position is that you said we must pilot it. I'm against pilots.
In fact, why I said that?
That's what your position is.
No. Why I said we must start from somewhere else.
I disagree with that.
Here. It's starting
I
from
disagree with you, buddy, on that.
How can you exclude them?
I disagree with you on that.
That you didn't start here from protected?
No, that you have to pilot it. I'm not.
No, I'm not. Like what I'm saying. You see, you are refusing. I'm telling you.
Don't disenfranchise.
Let us have it in the laws. Why are we taking it out?
Let me tell you, your approach is even disenfranchising from diaspora to vote. You know why?
Nah, that's what I know that you are.
What you are doing is even dangerous.
What?
Wait, I'm coming.
No. Wait. Now you have expunged.
No, allow me. If you are sincere to your call,
deny them to register.
If truly this is a kind of call,
we go back to the session. Will you rescind the other decision?
You can't put me on the spot, Madi. You know that.
Because you took it out.
No, wait. It's not
you took it out.
I don't like it.
You only know people.
Let me tell you. Your approach.
The NPP and their alliance
is more discriminatory.
The 14th.
Your approach is more discriminatory.
How?
It's not.
How is it?
You cannot just pick few countries and say
you are not serious at all.
No, come on.
Not serious.
It's a non-starter.
You are not serious. You and your government are not serious about this
board. I will be as an avenger. I'll put my neck on the chopping board.
You will never.
To make sure, of course.
You guys will never do that.
I'll never.
That's why you're
scared. Why are you guys scared of the diaspora?
Are
you scared of diaspora voting?
Not scared.
Yes,
why? Let's put me alone. Every government.
No. You, in fact, you were one of the members who stood on the ground and said, no. Something will go out.
I heard you outright.
You said it. On record. If they play if they replay, they see you.
I've given you my reasons in advance.
Right.
I've advanced the
anyway,
so
I know one day the diasporans will vote.
No problem. And I hope to live to that. Okay. And I'll be champion to that cause.
No, you cannot be a champion because you deny them now.
I have a dream.
Champion. I have lost that credibility.
I have a dream. That one day
you've lost that credibility because you denied it.
No, don't say that.
Of course, yes.
It's based on principle.
No,
that
you have no principle on this.
Oh, you see?
No principle.
Because when it suits you, it's a principle. But I said it's based on principle. Reason why? I don't want to discriminate.
You are not discriminating anybody.
Of course, you're discriminating.
You're not.
Finally, we are closing. The president said we are going to digitalize the national the ID card.
Oh yes, very important.
And as we speak, I don't know what is the situation even of our ID cards. For months, we could not get ID cards and driver's license, but they said we are going to digitalize. A country that has been here for 60 years, we don't even wear ID card na detail soul. You know, countries are worried about their data. People don't want to give their data to people, but Ntolu, all these years, our data is with Semlex or with somebody else. Today, the president promised that we are going to digitize.
A smart president.
It's a very good dream.
That is a very good dream.
And he meant it.
I also applauded was the port situation, the congestion at the ports.
Oh my goodness.
He also mentioned that I can tell you I enjoyed that.
Of course.
Because to be honest, that is
the man is delivering.
I don't know how that will go going down the line, but right now
he's delivering.
The congestion has gone out. The president also mentioned that. What do you think, what other areas? Because what we have seen is this country, everything is privatized.
Fatou, it's not only just digitalizing the ID cards.
State House.
And State House.
We privatize.
Wait.
Fatou, where we are going?
It's not only about the ID card. You know what is going
on? I'm telling you.
He is coming. You know what is in the pipeline? He knows.
What is that?
What is in the pipeline?
The president don't only stop at digitalizing his ID card. He's bringing a legislation called data protection. Very, very key. Data protection is very, very key. So the man is thinking around the clock,
on a final
making
note,
sure that he delivers.
The issue on the ID card is a good dream. I pray that the dream comes true.
Of course.
I pray too.
That's all I have.
I pray too. And also it's done in the right way.
Of course.
We want
he's an innovative leader.
Innovative.
He listens and is very smart. I'm telling you, see, I don't know.
We have to come. You have to come back. You are becoming my favorite NPP guy. That's crazy. I like that.
You know your president. You know your president. Sometimes
the man is so smart.
When you say certain things, I just look at the position and not the person.
Yes,
I would have used some adjective. But the president is the president. Let's just stop it there. But I tell you, your president is not wise.
No, he's very wise.
He's not a wise man.
Oh, somebody who's not wise and has been defeated for 2 elections consecutively. And if he's wise, you remain a position for the rest of your life.
That's why I told you in one of the discussions, during that discussion.
Is it jokes apart?
I said it's
jokes apart.
No, I told you.
The Gambia is
lucky. I told you it's not all about the leadership.
Yes.
It's about systems and institutions.
Yes.
But I can see maybe you are from a camp that worship leaders.
It's not about worship leaders.
All what you have been saying here is Barrow.
No, it's not Barrow.
Of course, because that's the type of people.
I want you to know that leadership play a pivotal role.
I agree.
If
everything centers around the leader, my friend, that's not a good leadership. Barrow. No institution. You haven't mentioned anything. Just Barrow. So you're worshiping
the institutional reform.
That days are
you
gone.
can't say that from him.
But that is not happening.
Institutional
reforms are not happening.
Of course.
No institution has been reformed. Which one?
Do you know why we have the policy, the conditional unity?
But 7 years, which institution have been reformed? 7 years.
Even Parliament has been reformed.
Which one?
Parliament has been here.
The judiciary has been reformed. You have been seeing the combination of judiciary now. There are so many reforms.
No,
You've seen now, he's trying to detach the water from electricity now. This is the all progressive clause. It's progressive actions.
These are divisions.
Let me tell you, see,
it's a clear division in NAVEC.
It's a clear
water division
manifestation.
Look, let me tell you.
This man knows what is really going on in his watch.
I'll tell you, look.
Billay G.
In
I'm
NAVEC,
telling you,
in NAVEC,
you know what is really going on in his watch.
In NAVEC, there is water division.
No. He did not read the commission report.
See you.
What is on his watch? No. That's a clear example there.
Every sector is delivering.
Every
sector is delivering.
He knows everything.
But Fatou,
I disagree.
No,
Madi knows that.
Fatou,
and I know.
Barrow just misled the Gambians because he set up that commission. He set that commission, and the commission had no right to submit that report to anybody other than Barrow. It was submitted to him, and there is a white paper. If he come back and tell us that he didn't know what is in that report, he's not telling us the reality. This is the kind of leader we have.
You see,
who
Madi,
blatantly will tell people that, no, this is white when it is red.
No, you must appreciate for the fact that...
For Barrow to tell us that he doesn't know that was in that report, that he doesn't know.
That was surprising for me.
No, he was just misleading us. He said the commission reported to him.
Fatou.
There was a government's white paper. Nah, that's too deceiving.
No,
that's the type of leader we have.
Fatou, on a nutshell, I think, like I said, to be honest, probably Madi know. I know there are politicals at play. I understand that, no comes with that. But to be honest, Gambia is lucky to have President Barrow. as a leader in this country.
Well, to you, to be honest.
And it's in the best interest of Gambia for its continuity. That is why
it is in the
I want to meet you
It
and
is in
Fatou
the worst interest of Gambia to have Barrow continue to be our
for
president.
continuity.
To
It's in the best interest of all of us here.
It is in the worst
You as
interest
opposition,
of the Gambia
me as
to have
government,
Barrow continue
she as the
leading
media,
us. He's
for Barrow's
leading us
continuity.
to the ditch.
From today, it's President Barrow for continuity. That is slogan.
That's your slogan.
Everybody's slogan.
That's your slogan.
Of course.
That's your slogan. But
Continuity.
To be very,
It's not about
on a
startup.
very serious note.
It's continuity.
On a very serious note, it is at the disadvantage of Gambia.
No. Come on. You
to
can't
have
say,
President Barrow
you can't say
continue
that.
leading the Gambia.
You can't say that.
Barrow has not brought any change in this country. People's lives have not changed.
Yeah.
If
There
you
is
say that,
rampant
that's so
corruption.
misleading.
There's
You are
rampant
enjoying
corruption.
democracy as a country.
Democracy is credit to the Gambia.
You are enjoying human
You are
rights.
denying-
He is
you
the
need
chairman of the
to
Human
know
Rights Committee
Gambians.
in Parliament.
That's why I'm talking.
My friend,
That's what I'm talking.
Madi, let's call a spade a spade.
The spade is Barrow
Gifts
is
is
not
our
good
blood
for
seed.
us. The spade is Barrow is
You know
not good for us.
what? You know what President Barrow hate to do? If you said you want to throw stone at every dog that bark, you wouldn't reach your destination.
Can you say that? President Barrow said that?
I said, you know what he hates? If you want to throw,
I don't even
if you want
know
to
what
throw,
he hates or what he loves.
if you want to throw stone to each dog that bark at you, you are likely.
You are the last person
No,
to
wait,
know Barrow.
no, wait.
You're the
I
last
have
person
never
to
seen
know
a
Barrow.
Sarahule like this.
No, what I'm telling you,
This man is the last
I
person
am
to
saying
see
what Barrow hates.
Uh-huh.
In terms of development, he doesn't want anybody that distracts him. That's why I said he believes in this principle that if you want to throw a stone at any dog that bark at you, you likely not reach your destination. He believes in development. The name Khus, and we're going.
What I can tell you is
Wow.
Barrow
loolu la gom ñun kay liggéey rek
Barrow is not
na
good for
opposition
the
wax
Gambia.
opposition
That's what I
seen
can
liggéey
tell you.
is to
Because
talk
the way
so wax leen
few things
ñun
you
dinañ
can
liggéey
pick on few things.
inshallah
That
there's
shows that
social
Barrow is not
audits.
good for us.
There will be social audits in this country very soon. 2026 is social audit. And we are going to face Gambia to tell them to look at these two candidates. His Excellency President Barrow and His Excellency Lawyer Dabo, who has done what within these 5 years. And Gambia will determine that. And he believes in that. That he must go and
you can
face
only
them
compare.
for audit.
No. You can only compare Barrow to Jammeh and Jawara. These are the three people who are privileged to be presidents of this country. Somebody that you have not given mandate to rule, you cannot compare that one to somebody who's ruling. You people get bragging to say Barrow did this. What has this man done? He was given the opportunity to lead us for 7 years.
This is a leader.
Now you want to compare him to
this
somebody
is a
who
leader
has not led?
who does development indiscriminately.
No, but look, let's
So
take,
you know,
what I'm saying.
you believe in that, man.
What I'm saying is,
Go to
you
Kiax.
cannot compare him
About
to
development in terms of
You
partisan
cannot.
politics, he wouldn't do Kia.
If you want to
in Kia, this man is taking development
You see,
at every doorstep. He believes in one thing. Ako,
what I'm saying is,
Baro man futa na sonto wala.
what is
Baro man futa mapolo.
What is the
Sonta. Bari Baro futa lama. Ofale.
Baro man futa mansonta. Barbaro te futa lama.
What is the reality is, Fatou? You see, what used to prevail here during Jammeh's time cannot happen
Cannot
now.
happen. That's true.
Jammeh will stand and say, because you don't vote me, I will not take development there.
Yeah.
Barrow dare not say that.
Yeah.
He dare not say that.
We fought for
because
that.
he knew how he get to this position. It's Gambians,
You
not
can't
him.
threaten this man.
Yeah.
No, I'm not telling him. He knew it's Gambians that placed him there.
Yes.
So he's grateful to that.
And therefore, if he
And
want to
if
act
he's doing
otherwise,
exactly that,
if
let's appreciate.
if he want to act otherwise,
Wala can you
it will
go?
be otherwise.
Ninyi nyaman tare jare su. Anta tante su le mamadi.
But I'm telling you,
Ala nyi ala nyi ala tente.
atanyanta mole jola nyinyala, mole
Ha,
nyala.
amala dokula.
Raman mole jo nyinyala.
Sabrin no mene ale kate fa ay testile.
Jamfa, mo jamfa lela.
Ale na dua jabile. UDP ale dua jabile wala duma de President Barrow.
But I jo jamfa la, baro mo jo jamfa la.
Jam duma nyanyadi.
Everybody to know. Jamfa. Ako
Ni mo ko na dua nga dua la fa. Dua la fa anse fo luñuma. Ale dua jabile. Fale so wala ka dua jabile bo Adam Barrow. Ale nga do ko ngata. Bango do ko mo do ko lem. Ak mo da man ta rek come and join us.
Is he from full no?
UDP should come and join.
Of course now.
Is he from full
I look forward to that.
Of course. You can fool yourself, but you cannot fool Gambians.
Who knows?
People who are listening to you,
Madi
you
could be
cannot
appointed
fool
next government, and we can appoint somewhere. It's very possible, of course.
To do what?
To be
State minister?
No, head of the Commission on Human Rights. He's a human activist.
I am very upright.
No,
I'm very upright and content. I'm upright and content. I want to
That's
tell
why
you,
I said you should go to the Human Rights Commission.
Upright and content.
Yes,
upright
I know who
and
you are. That's why I said His Excellency.
I will
But I will
serve-
even
I-
appoint you as the Commissioner of Human Rights.
I don't want
Knowing your passion for
I
the
don't
job.
want it.
It's very important you are there.
I don't want that appointment.
Of course. And the
What I'm doing, I love that Gambians have given me this opportunity to represent them.
It's not enough.
Not Barrow. Barrow will not give.
Eh, Bismillah. Even imagine
Ndinga ala ten
you
tule.
man will follow.
Ndinga ala ten tule.
Ah, no.
I told you,
Mamba.
honorable.
Not 2026.
Ndinga ala
Not
ten tule.
2026.
No. Billahi wa tallahi.
Go. Hey.
Nyinsi asibu teleke.
Badu.
Huh?
Nyimbe.
Honorable, ye kalile de.
Nyimbe kalio mu dake. He doesn't
But
know.
please call
He
me.
does not know.
2026 December 2nd or 3rd. Nkumani.
Okay, come on.
What I know, but what I know.
Ngamelo na
is-
long you will leave it so soon.
What I know is that you cannot predict the future.
This
Future Aldam Manako.
for the first time this man is even incorporating the madrasa students
Sama.
into the system.
Well, we'll talk about that in the parliament.
Finally.
You know that how that madrasas come. You know it.
Let's come where?
You know, I don't know. You know it. We are going to debate.
It's giving budget to them already.
Okay, we'll debate.
Me and you approve it.
We'll debate.
100%
We'll
in
debate.
the Ministry of Higher
Don't
Education.
worry about
So,
that.
are you
Don't
talking about
worry
that?
about that.
It is in the budget.
We have Monday and Tuesday to talk about this. in
No
the
problem, no
parliament.
problem. I'll be there to defend it.
Honorable, you have to come back. You have to finally. Akam to ko saying Honorable Akofali join it all come by ate min jawol baroma wuli follow.
Ah, no. Compare.
Yalo niko landa paraso.
Farasta
First
juma.
membala mosi. Baro first jumale bala.
UDP. To nyalti.
That's my last word. Last word.
Honorable. Ya
Ay fi bolo ngejabi. Ani si
Landa
ngejabi.
paraso. First membala.
Ni ko landa farso fata membala.
Ha.
Wala
Na
shaka.
diate njawi.
Bari a fata membala.
Ha.
Ntata nyoboru lumo tole.
Ha.
Mole alon sai na tata farsa membala. Mama farsa membala. Sembo be nyumal to ngalon.
Ha.
So there is what we call a rematch. 2026, father and son again. Dinen delu si geew bi waye ñun liñ gom moy bakku si joge ci geew mo gën nga bakku dem ci geew te ñun dinañ bakku joge ci geew inshallah.
Sarhole bi fan la dege. Sarhole bi fan la dege. Sarhole bi fan la dege Olof. Huh? Honorable, I am so excited that you. I never knew you are this kind of. Never Sarhole de minka mandinka kawani surwa. But thank you so much for coming. You should definitely come again.
Inshallah.
Until we come your way again. Good night to you all. See you all next time. That was Honorable Billay Tunkura. No, you guys have to come. You guys, that is majority. Let me close. That is Honorable Billay Tunkura, Majority Leader, Honorable Madi Ceesay, Deputy Minority Leader. We looked at obviously the state of the nation, but honestly, they have to come back. Yes. This was a rush. They really have to come back. Thank you very much, guys. Good night to you all. See you again. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you. Honorable.
We are happy to announce the launch of our new logo. We have evolved since our incorporation in 1997, and it is time to refresh our new look to reflect who we are today. Before I reveal our new look, however, walk with me while I take you through our journey of the last 25 years. Trust Bank was incorporated on July 3rd, 1997 and began operations on October 1st, 1997. Following the collapse of the parent company of its predecessor, Meridian, the CBG stepped in and recapitalized the bank and held the shares in trust, thus the name Trust Bank. In 1999, the first investors who responded to the IPO and paid $1.50 per share received their maiden dividend of 50 bututs per share. In 2000, the bank fully paid back its investment by declaring another dividend of $1.20 bututs per share, making it a cumulative dividend per share of $1.70, which was 20 bututs above the purchase price. Between 2002 to date, share capital has increased from $27 million to $200 million, indicating that the bank has grown organically by plowing back profits to increase capital while at the same time paying dividends to shareholders. The bank was listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange in November 2002, being the first ever cross-border listing in the sub-region. Now let's talk about awards. The bank was awarded the insignia of the National Order of the Republic of the Gambia, ORG, in the year 2010 by His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia. During the past years, the bank has received so many national and international awards. Banker Magazine, 6 times. Global Finance, 6 times. Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, 5 times. We began operations with 3 branches. Now, we have 18 branches and 20 ATMs and counting. On digital services, mobile app, check. Online banking, check. Transaction alerts, check. Watch this space. We've got more coming. Creating employment, yes, we've got that too. 400 and counting. And we take great care of our people too. Medical insurance, life insurance, private and state pensions, annual pilgrimages for both Muslims and Christians, training, yes, we do them all. One team, one family, one goal. That's the Trust Bank spirit. On corporate social responsibility, we have spent over $50 million in various causes. We care, and so we share. Over the years, we have paid over $1.6 billion to our shareholders, which translates to a whopping $20 per share and counting. Phenomenal returns for our shareholders who purchased at $1.50. Corporate taxes, over $1 billion is paid. Our journey started with a vision to create the kind of company that delivers quality services and innovative products with an inspired team dedicated to serving our customers, our environment, and our communities at large in the most caring manner. We remain fully committed to delivering excellent services to each of our stakeholders, customers, employees, shareholders, and partners. So, we remain true to who we have always been.